Imagine this. You're at a massive Coldplay concert, 65,000 people singing along, and suddenly the Kiss cam lands on you, but instead of smiling and playing along, you panic. She covers her face. He ducks like he's dodging bullets, and Coldplay's Chris Martin leans into the mic and jokes either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Millions watched it go viral. Within days, the man was out of a job. Why? Because he wasn't just some random guy. He was the CEO of a hot tech company, cuddling his own head of HR. And he wasn't the only one. Just weeks later, the CEO of Nestlé, one of the world's biggest food empires, got fired for hiding a romance with a subordinate. Welcome back to Brand vs. Soul. Today we're diving into the naughty CEOs of 2025. The men at the top who preached ethics, wrote the company handbooks, and then got caught breaking every rule. The big question we'll ask at the end: was the thrill worth destroying their careers, their families, and their billion-dollar brands? Let's find out. In July 2025, at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts, Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his chief people officer, Kristin Cabot, were caught in what looked like a very cozy moment. Arms wrapped around each other, swaying to the music, the second the camera hit them. Pure panic. She turns away. He ducks out of frame. Too late. The internet had already started digging. Within hours, sleuths identified them. Byron was a married father leading a rising AI/data company. Cabot was the head of HR, the very person responsible for enforcing the company's code of conduct on workplace relationships and ethics. Chris Martin's offhand joke lit the fuse. The clip exploded across TikTok, X, and news outlets. Astronomer put them both on leave, launched an investigation, and boom! Byron resigned just days later. Cabot followed shortly after. Later reports added layers. Some sources said they insisted it wasn't a full affair, just a crush or inappropriate moment after a couple of drinks. Cabot later spoke out about the online harassment that followed, saying it devastated families. But here's the brand versus soul twist. This wasn't some low-level employee slip-up. This was the CEO and the HR boss, the two people who set the moral tone for the entire company. Their own policies likely banned or required disclosure of relationships with direct reports or power imbalances. One awkward concert moment and the brand's reputation took a hit. Astronomer went from promising tech startup to that Kiss cam company overnight. What made this scandal so viral? It was public, embarrassing, and perfectly memeable. But deeper than that, it exposed the gap between corporate talk and walk. Companies love posting about values, inclusive culture, and zero tolerance for misconduct. Yet when the very top executives get caught in situations that scream conflict of interest or abuse of power dynamics, the board has no choice but to act fast. In this case, the board did, quickly. No long golden parachute drama, just resignation. But the damage? Employees left questioning the culture. Investors wondered about leadership judgment. And the personal fallout? Marriages strained, kids affected, careers derailed, all because of one moment they thought no one would see. Was the rush of that night worth it? For a few minutes of closeness at a concert, they lost control of the narrative forever. Fast forward to September 2025. Nestlé, the Swiss giant behind KitKat, Nespresso, and countless household brands, makes a shocking announcement. CEO Laurent Freixe, just 1 year into the top job after decades at the company, is fired with immediate effect. No severance in some reports. Reason? He allegedly concealed a romantic relationship with a direct subordinate. An internal tip, possibly through their own ethics hotline, triggered an investigation. The board, led by the chairman, confirmed it breached the company's code of business conduct. Favoritism concerns were floated. Freixe was gone, replaced overnight. Nestlé is a brand that sells itself on trust, family, and wholesome products. They've faced criticism over the years on everything from water to marketing, but this hit at the leadership core. Again, the CEO, the guy steering a multi-billion-dollar ship with massive global influence, breaking the exact rules the company expects every employee to follow. The board acted decisively, which is rare and sends a strong signal. But it also raises the question, how did it go undetected for so long? And what does it say about the culture at the very top? These aren't isolated slip-ups. 2025 felt like the year personal misconduct caught up with corner office power. From tech to consumer goods, boards are finally drawing harder lines. Why? Because in the age of social media and viral moments, one bad decision can tank trust overnight. Employees notice hypocrisy. Customers vote with their wallets. Investors hate uncertainty. Both cases highlight classic ethical trade-offs. Power imbalance, CEO plus subordinate equals potential favoritism, coercion fears, or at minimum, bad optics. Hypocrisy, leaders who enforce rules for others but exempt themselves. Hidden costs, reputational damage, distraction from core business, talent flight, legal risks. Astronomer's story was messy and public because of the concert. Nestlé's was quieter but no less damaging, a global icon forced into crisis mode. In both, the brands moved fast to contain it. But the soul-searching, that's harder. Can a company truly claim strong values when its own CEO can't live by them? So, was it worth it? For Andy Byron, a few moments at a Coldplay show led to instant resignation, public humiliation, and his company forever linked to a meme. For Laurent Freixe, a hidden relationship cost him a dream job at one of the world's most powerful food companies after 40 years of climbing the ladder. In both cases, the short-term thrill or comfort came at enormous long-term cost to careers, families, and the brands they led. This pattern reveals something bigger about corporate power. When you're at the top, the rules are supposed to bind you tighter, not looser. Yet too often, success breeds the illusion of exemption. As viewers, we love the drama. But we should also ask, what kind of leadership do we reward? And what happens to company culture when the boss plays by different rules? 2025 proved that even billion-dollar brands aren't immune to very human failings at the highest level. The kiss cam caught more than a couple. It caught a leadership disconnect. What do you think? Was the Astronomer CEO's moment worth the career suicide? Should Nestlé have handled it differently? Or is swift accountability exactly what we need more of? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me which naughty CEO story or brand scandal we should cover next. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the bell for weekly deep dives into the real cost of corporate success. We expose the trade-offs so you don't have to. Thanks for watching Brand vs. Soul. Stay curious, stay skeptical. See you in the next one.